Nice horse again by Colmar. It's like Shane said, just a really small rub on the vertical there, and then if you see the reaction she gives. But even if you just look at the type, she's really well put together. You can see in her hips, she has a lot of power, nice long legs, really bloody legs. It's really nice to see what the blood types that Colmar gives.
Thank you, Jack. It really is a treat to see and hear how these young horses' careers are planned really right from the beginning, and the balance and the approach of horses for courses, each one needing a different approach. On to our last horse, Lucky Luck. He's approximately 16.3, born in 2016, and is an approved stallion with KWPN and Breeders' Elite. Lucky is one of the most exciting young stallions to stand in the UK at the moment, with fantastic bloodlines and a fabulous temperament. He has proven to be a very popular sire. At 3 years old, he was champion at his KWPN grading, where he scored what were at the time the highest ever set of marks. He has excellent x-rays and he is WFFS free. As a 4 and 5-year-old, he has been very popular with breeders, producing already over 150 foals. They are great types and look of super quality, gaining premium gold awards in young horse evaluation assessments. He is by the world-famous Grand Dorado TN, a 1.60 m Grand Prix horse, out of a Cannabis Z mare. Lucky started his competition career at Breen Equestrian with Shane in the autumn of 21, and during 2022 jumped internationally in young horse classes, fitting around his very busy stud commitments. A jet setter, he has literally just returned from Dubai last week after a very successful tour this winter. He has jumped some super rounds and has good placings in 135 and 140 classes. His eldest offspring are now 4 years old and showing great talent under saddle. We have a very good 2-year-old colt by Lucky Luck out of Bolian, Georgia Thames mare, who can be seen at the stud later today, so please do join us after for that stud tour. He is available with chilled and frozen semen, and in Ireland his frozen semen is stored in Cork and available for next day delivery with a stud fee of £800 plus VAT. Thank you, and over to you, Shane.
Yeah, Lucky Luck. Lucky Luck actually comes through me. I have a little bit, I'm a little bit a big fan of Lucky Luck. It was Michael Kirk that called me one day and he said Grand Dorado, his sire, was so impressive as a young horse. And the first crop of Grand Dorado were just going to the stallion grading for the KWPN. And Michael Kirk said, I want to buy a Grand Dorado offspring. So I went to look for him, and the first, in the KWPN test, there's 250, 300 horses every year. And they loose jump them first in Ermelo. Then they get selected for a second time loose jumping. This is like a month and a half later. After the first time loose jumping, I said, if you want to buy a Grand Dorado, we should try and buy this one, because it was so impressive there. So we asked, and he wasn't for sale. So we were a little bit, we were a little bit sad. We went to the stallion test in Ermelo, in Den Bosch. And out of the 150 horses that were still there, he was selected. There's always, after the 2 rounds of loose jumping in KWPN, there's a group of around 30 horses that will be selected for the saddle test. It's a 30-day test. The KWPN brings them in. They have them there, they put them under the saddle, they ride them for 30, 40 days, so they really know how the character is, how the rideability is, what qualities do they have if you jump them a few times in a row. It's quite a heavy test, so it's very, very difficult to get them approved for the KWPN. After his second time loose jumping, he was rewarded, so you start with 250 horses, and then there's 6 stallions that time that became premium stallion. It means that they were the 6 most interesting stallions of that year, and Lucky Luck was one of them. And after the second stallion test in Den Bosch, I was very lucky that the breeder, who doesn't live too far from me, that he gave me a call and that he said I have had doubts about it, or thoughts about it, sorry. A lot of interest in the stallion. A lot of people want to buy him, but I'm a fair man and you were the first one to ask for him. So I will give you the first option to buy him. And as we did. So then Michael Kirk owned him, and we had to get him ready for the stallion test. I broke him in myself, and within the same week he was jumping on the side of the ring, oxes like we are building up there, with such unbelievable quality that I've never felt a 3-year-old stallion with so much power and so much quality as he showed then. Now I still have videos from it, but it was quite impressive. And it was 1 month later, we're jumping a small course in the outdoor arena. And yeah, he went to the stallion test, was there for 30 days, and became the champion of that year. But he was also rewarded with the highest points ever up to that date. And it was a total of 89 points, what is like 9s for everything. And they were completely enthusiastic about his quality, but also his mentality there at the stallion grading. So now it's nice for me to see him again here at Shane, who bought him afterwards from Michael Kirk. The first year he went to Ireland to breed there. I think he bred a lot of mares there. It's nice to see him now breeding here and be competing in the sport as well. And he seems to I've seen a few of his offspring. They're a bit the same types as him. So I think if you look at Lucky Luck, he's a real father type. He is big, he is blood, he is a beautiful pretty face, a big neck. His movements are good, he is super gallop. He gets that a bit from Granderado. Granderado gives a very good gallop. And but the most important, you see his quality at the fence. So we're going to see some bigger fences now. But if you see already what power he has and how he jumps off the ground, opens up behind, always ears forward, really wants to go, really wants to jump that fence. I've seen some videos of him that they took him to Dubai. Looked very impressive. You see here as well the big stride he has. Those 4 strides come very easy for him. He had a nice little rub here, but for sure with this one you will see also his reaction because he's extremely careful like he was as a 3-year-old.
We're just going to move we're going to move the oxer up a little bit and the vertical back a little bit because, as Jack said, he has a big step, but the jumps are getting quite big and the distance is just a little bit too short to jump big jumps. I suppose it's a little bit of a double-edged sword because he was so successful when Michael Quirk and I bought him. Coming over from Holland after Jack so brilliantly broke him in and took him to the approval. He went to Ireland and he bred there and he was very popular. But when I say unfortunate, because for his sporting career left him a little bit behind, and in some ways he's still catching up a little bit. As Daisy said, I took him to Lear when he was a 6-year-old. So he did an international show, but actually he came home and then he was so busy breeding, he only did about 2 or 3 more shows that year. So then the end of last year and beginning of this year, I've started to concentrate more on the sport for him. So he does need to catch up a little bit. He's 8 now, but I do think he will catch up quick. Oh. Because of he has the ability, he has the quality, he has everything to be a star. But now he just needs to get the ring craft and get the experience, which we will do that. Oh, whoa, 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 relax, relax. And again, if we look at his father, Gran Dorado, and Lucky Luke's offspring, or Mavano's, or Opportunity, they all have the same dad, Gran Dorado, and they're all breeding bays. So I don't know in Holland if that's the case, that majority are bay.
Majority is for sure. I want to say one time bigger, Shane. You're jumping it so easy.
Yeah,
But
go
the
bigger.
majority is bay. I just had a very good Grandorado. Was a grey horse. Myself, I've been very lucky with Grandorado. There was in the auction from Greg Broderick recently a horse called Meadow. It also came from me as a 4-year-old. So yeah, Grandorado just gives a lot of quality, but very interesting on Lucky Luke is also the mother side. And I've might been sleeping a little bit myself, because there's a bit younger than him. There's 2 by Chuck Fly out of the same mother that look very impressive. One has just been sold to Sweden, and the other one is a 5-year-old that was competing in Sunshine Tour this year, and it was by for sure one of the most impressive 5-year-olds there.
Oh. We put this one bigger, lads.
So Grandorado is very popular and he gives very good horses, but on this mother side is also gives a lot of blood type of horses, nice movers, but for especially a lot of quality.
The plan with Lucky this year is he's 8, but he's a little bit like the mileage of a 6-year-old. So I have to be careful that I bear that in mind, that he's low in mileage, and not just because of his quality and how good he is, to just stick him into courses that are 145, 150, because to be honest, mentally he's not ready for that. So you'll see him at the show tomorrow, and I'll just play around at the 130s, 140s for this year and get the mileage into him. He actually probably would have been in Arezzo with the other horses, but I wanted to keep him here for today to show him teeth. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh.
It's the same what Shane said with the other horse. A fault like that they have to learn from, but you don't. It's quite a big fence, even for an 8-year-old. Oh, he's coming again this line. But you don't want them to get scared of a fault like that. They have to be able to keep jumping forward.
Oh.
And he does that very easy. Do it one more time. Very easy.
Oh. Just going to do it once more in a minute. He is a little bit fresh. He's only just come back from Dubai, and I've been in Arezzo, so he's just feeling the spring air, a bit fresh. Oh. 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 That's better.
You see how clever the horse is learning from these two folds, that he really started using his body now. The last oxer is jumping.
I'm actually just going to jump it once more because the last jump for me felt like his best jump. Felt sitting here more level in the jump, felt straighter and felt better use of his body. And it's purely because he hasn't had a jump in about 3 weeks. Since he came back during the week, he had a little play around with Katie, but he's just a bit rusty jumping.